Yeah, buddy. Okay. We are streaming for the first time in a while. Let's go. Anywho, what's up? It's your boy. There. Oh, wait. Ah, there we go. It's Drizzle. Be back, baby. Let's do some stuff, man. Everyone streaming our and pull up, and then we'll do it almost that, and then eventually I'll have, there you go, copy link. There's that. Okay, cool. Anywho,
students, we are going to be making a banging rhythm track like Whole, Subtronics, Infect. This is the track we're going to be making. As always, you can grab this entire project for free down below in the description, and by doing so, you'll also get exclusive access to our EDM Prod Mastermind community, bi-weekly feedback sessions. There's a bunch more free samples and presets in there, other project files too, and exclusive videos, bunch of awesome stuff. So go grab the project, and with that, let's hop into today's course. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is set up our project so it's at the right tempo and we've got our song structure dialed in. This is super important, and many producers overlook this step because it's gonna save you so many headaches down the line. So first thing we need to know is rhythm is at that 140 BPM
you already know we got the 140.
Some tracks drop to 145, but they tend to be a bit slower than the more modern tear-out dubstep stuff. Let's go 140 for this track. Now we're also going to bring in a reference track to get an idea for the song structure we want. This track here, "Shut Up" by Rack, is a really solid rhythm example.
Obviously you don't want to just jack homies content, but I think the audio will be fine.
Reference, and what we're going to do is use this blank structure MIDI track to map out some blank MIDI clips for the structure, basically. So what we want to do is make sure the timing of this track is aligned to our host tempo. Now, I do know this track, when I got it off Beatport, was at 145. So what I'm going to do here is just warp our reference track on complex mode. I'm going to pitch it up a couple of semitones just for copyright purposes. I'm not really going to be listening to it throughout this course. We're just going to put in the original tempo of the sample or the track there, which, as I said, is 145. So now that I know that, it should maybe align, but it often always doesn't. So what I do here is I'll just kind of look where the drop starts, which is this little beat here. And I'm just going to kind of align that to the next available bar. I'm going to put this on the...
Also, today, if anyone's, is there even anyone in here? No, but it's fine. Look at that posture, baby. Absolute shrimp, dude. Whatever. This is the stuff.
The one here, so we have to zoom in to make sure that first kick drum is right.
I want to make this realistic and fun.
Play it for a bit as well, just to make sure it is actually
like this is the not tempo. Sexy stuff I'm doing behind the scenes.
The bigger part of the drop here.
To all these shows. Me and the boy Slothy been grinding. Shout out Slothy. I think he's on the stream right now, but he has a tune that's actually super fire, and he's putting in that work. So that's what we do. We put in that work, man.
Skip through the track.
So we want to make cool shit.
Yeah, that's all good. Cool, we got that dialed in now. What we can do here is I'm actually just going to Shift Command Delete the first part of this track because it's just a bar of silence, really. And then this is going to be our like two little bar. We call this an anacrusis / sweep in. So this is like a little 2-bar section before the main section starts, right? I'm going to color that sort of a nice light gray there to denote that. But the main intro starts here. Now, when you've got these 2-bar offsets at certain sections in the track, what you can do, as one student pointed out in one of my recent courses actually, is you can add a time signature change here, right? You can actually name it intro. And what that is going to do, it doesn't actually put the name in, but this is going to highlight your background colors in Ableton. I don't know if this is a feature in other DAWs, the same as it would be as if this was the start point 1, right? So you can see here, we've got 8-bar increments, or sorry, 4 bars actually in this case. And those colors line up, which is cool. And same when you zoom out as well. So we've got 16 bars here, 16 bars here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to break this up into increments of 8, because that tends to be the main phrase length.
So what's it called? An anacrusis? The fuck is that, bro? I mean, he just explained it, but anacrusis. Think? And then after that, so we got that boom, anacrusis, and then out to the 11.
We're going to call this intro. I'm going to call this intro ambience, because it's kind of not that many drums in here. We can color it like a nice sort of light blue, I reckon. Now, because rhythm has like a lot of delay on the sounds, it sounds like the metronome is off, but it's actually not. It's just the section. We're going to go here to a build section. Build synths, because I think the synths come in here by themselves. So we haven't got the full drums in yet. I'm going to color this a nice orange. Here I'm going to call this build drums, because the drums actually come in here, which is pretty cool. We can use that idea for our own. And then here we've got the drop starting, and we're going to color this sort of a nice, more ready sort of color. I'm going to call this drop 1A, and I'm going to say like silent pre-drop 4 bars, because it's like a 4-bar section here.
See, and like this kind of label and structuring
before the main drop actually starts. I'm going to call this false drop, actually.
Helps a lot.
Better terminology. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to call this drop 1B. And we're going to get rid of all the other text in there. I'm not necessarily going to label all of them super accurately. I'm just going to say 1B. Then we've got 1C. Okay, that's interesting. So it's actually probably more accurate to put this false drop 4 bars here as its own section. Boom. We're then going to call this drop 1A. This is where this is really handy, because you can figure these things out. Because we've got like sort of another build here, right? And I'm going to call this build drums. I'm better than you and I'm better than your friends. Cool. I call this drop 1A. This is where this is really handy, because you can figure these things out. Because we've got like sort of another build here, right? And I'm going to call this build drums. I'm better than you and I'm better than your friends. Cool. This is drop B now. So we've still got the same thing here with that first 4 bars being different. And what I'm going to do is, because it's drop B in this case, I'm going to color it like purple, or maybe even like a pink or something. Yeah, why not? And then we're going to call this 2A. Boom. And we're going to call this one 2B. And then we've just got a simple outro. We're going to use the blue color for that as well. Outro ambience. And then like sort of final impact for like the end. And then we'll just do it for those kind of 2.
outro, ambiance. And then quiet, impact.
To 4 bars there. Cool. That is our structure all mapped out now. Now, what we can do is, boom, delete our reference track. We're just going to go off this rough structure because, again, we don't really need to listen back and forth all the time. You're more than welcome to bring it in for mixdown purposes, for just ideas for your track, but I'm going to kind of just go off on my own at this point. And now that our project is all set up with the things we need in it, I'm going to turn to the drums now. Really quick before I do that, I'm just going to add in another time signature change here on the false drop.
Oops.
We're also going to do one when the drop actually starts.
There we go.
And we're going to do the same for drop, drop B, right? Just because this 4-bar thing can throw our grid lines out. And so that will fix it up. Now everything should line up, which is pretty helpful. We don't need any others. And let's do drums. Okay, so we're going to start at drop 1A for the drums. Now I'm going to bring in a new audio channel. We're going to call this one kick. We're probably going to color it like a nice deep orange here. I'm going to group it just preemptively here because I know I'm going to be doing some group processing on all my drums. I like to use all caps for my groups and main channels in the track. Just helps me distinguish things a little nicer. And for dubstep or rhythm drums, should I say, we have our classic 2-step pattern where we have a kick on the 1 and 3 and a snare, or in this case, more of a clappy snare on the 2 and 4. The difference is, though, with rhythm is you actually put a kick on the 4, the 2 and 4 as well. It just tends to be either clipped or sort of a bit quieter in the background. And that's what really creates that massive whack in rhythm, right? I'm going to go to some of these samples I've selected here, and we're going to find a nice kick drum to start. Now, I'm probably going to layer a couple together just for the sake of fun. Let's listen to what we got here.
Let me use this new sample pack I just got. Yeah, that's gas, bro.
I kind of like this kick here. This is one I've used in another rhythm track. It's actually a processed version of an EDM starter kit kick, which is actually one of our free packs. I'll leave a link for that in the description. I'm going to layer this with another one though. I like the texture of this sample, but I want some different low end, right? So maybe I'll take the low end from another kick. I'm really liking either this heart or this splat maybe. So what I'm going to do here is just layer these together for now. Turn off the metronome. We're just going to take the click of this kick, I think. Yeah, that sounds good. We're going to actually grab an EQ here. I am just going to use the classic EQ8. Let's pass all that low end out. So we're just getting this. Right, boom. Now I can even shorten it a little bit just to get most of the punch in the beginning of the sample. That actually sounds really nice. Get the right amount of that crunch in there. I'm actually going to try pitching this kick up a bit. I don't know if it's going to sound good. Ooh, yeah. Great. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is group this kick together. Kick, group. Now, thank the Lord for groups within groups at this point, because this is going to make it way easier.
Can't use groups.
I'm going to take a quick Pro L2 on here with no gain, just to control any transients that may be poking through. And we are going to create yet another kick channel. This is going to have the input set to resampling, and we're just going to resample these kicks together. Now, before I commit, I'm just going to make sure the balance of this top layer is a bit more nuanced. And check it without it. I think this is just going to add some nice thwack to our sample. Okay, now that we've got that dialed in, let's resample. I'm going to arm this track. Let's do that. Boom. That is our kick sample there. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is before I commit to that, I am just going to drive the gain like 1 dB just to catch that transient a little more hard. So I'm going to delete that. We're going to redo that. Boom, that is perfect. That is a nice, healthy looking waveform. Let's delete our original group, and this is our new kick sample, right? Really cool. I'm just gonna shorten it up there, add a little fade, and consolidate that. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go for an 8-bar section here. I'm gonna loop up drop 1A. Again, starting with an 8-bar loop is super helpful. Let's just kind of shorten this moment because I've got way too much space in my browser there. And like I said, so normally you just have a kick on the 1 and 3 like this, okay? We duplicate that over the whole 8-bar section, right? More or less, we can do some rhythmic changes in a second. But what happens is, right, this second kick here, and I probably will have to change this, it's not so much the same volume. Now, one thing I just noticed is I'm going to select all these samples, turn off warping. We don't need warping on this sample. We're going to bring in our some sort of clap now on the 2 and 4 here, just to make sure that it's getting our decent rhythm in there, right? We want that classic sound. So let's bring in a clap sample. This one's a nice one from our EDM starter kit. I'm going to use it as a basic layer. And I am going to EQ this just a touch to take out some of the lows and boost some of the highs. We're going to again use EQ8 here with a high pass filter and then a high shelf. I've also got my verbs set up here. Sometimes I like to use my drums verb to do this. There we go. That's getting that rhythmy sound now. Right. Now I'm going to boost this up just a touch. And let's put this on the 4 as well. Sounding good. I'm going to call this clap 1, but I want a second layer. I want something a little more thick on the 2 and 4 there. I'm going to call this one clap 2, and we're going to bring in yet another clap sample just to thicken it up and make it a bit unique, right? I'm going to pick something from a rhythmy sample pack this time because that's pretty guaranteed to work. Ooh, that could be nice. Big 707, that sounds like a nice option. I'm going to turn this down. And I'm also going to shorten this version a little bit.
So what I usually have to do, so I'm going to delete this. I'm going to duplicate this channel. We're going to delete all this. Rename. So it's going to be drums. And we're just going to have that all the way through the track. And then guess what? Drum rack. Drums, sounds, all instruments, drum rack, drum machine, kit, and then it doesn't matter what we do because we'll just fucking boom, clap. Boom, clap, boom, Dope. And then we take these, show in browser. Kick, show in browser. Snare, there's clap. I'm going to delete these. Dope. And he's layering his claps and his kicks, so we're going to do that as well. Because that's what you want to do. So we're going to head back into this. And this is going to be the conga, I guess. And then we'll do another clap. And we'll do that as the perk, I guess. Doesn't really matter. All right, so then we go back into this. And we layer our kicks. And our claps. You see how much of a difference in sound that makes already? That's crazy. You really get that sense of like fullness, which is really, really cool. So on this kick all over that. And then doing all of them. Never mind. So we'll just take that off. But yeah, check out the compressor. So I'm gonna throw saturator on the drums. Okay.
But
so that was just us layering the drums. That's how long that takes. Very cool.
Honestly, we could go with just that. I'm going to try one more clap layer, just something with a bit more texture.
See, I don't have that luxury.
What I also may do is
I'm gonna
make
need
every
this
third or fourth
as well.
clap just a little different. This just adds a bit of nice texture to our drums and kind of makes them less generic, to be honest. So let's go ahead here and pull in one more clap. maybe a snare would be better.
See, like, I'm going to go back on my other project and definitely layer the drums more because it adds so much uniqueness and texture. It's absolutely crazy.
I think this would be cool to kind of just use the tail from, right?
Bro, Ronnie Coleman, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, that would be good. Let's just get the fades in there, right? Turn down the volume a little bit.
See, like, give me that.
And I'm going to call this snare tail.
Give me Ableton. Give me the full suite, bro. Need it.
Turn it down even further. I'm even going to bring on an EQ again.
Like, he's going so
boom.
This
Pretty high, times 4, 48 dB per octave high pass. I'm going to pitch this up as well, just because we want a little bit more brightness from it, and pitching it up can do that. And some tightness.
Like, bro, this is sick because he just gives you, like, he shows you what he's doing and his thought process, but, like, isn't...
Two, because it shortens the tail a bit.
Just jerking you
so
for
now let's just
50 minutes, you know what I mean?
Clap 1.
You can follow along, see what he's doing, and retain the information.
Cool, I like it. It's a bit
in a reasonable amount of time.
So I'm going to bring some low pass on there because I don't want this to be dull and then this one to be super bright.
This is a real tutorial. Anybody could sit down and follow this and definitely learn something, which is cool. So this is what we're doing.
Cool. I'm going to put that over every second one there. I'm wondering if I want to add in a normal snare as well, just to, again, we want these big chunky snares in rhythm, and sometimes multiple samples can help. Maybe this one. Let's see how it sounds at least. It may be good. It may be terrible. Yeah, without it. Yeah, it just gives it the beginning of the sample a little punch. I am going to, however, use I love the channel EQ sometimes in Ableton just to get rid of some frequencies really quick. It's got a bit too much high end because we've already got a lot of high end in the other samples. So I'm just going to quickly mix this down, do a little bit of mixing as I go. More emphasizing the low end. Right, this is sounding really, really good. Now, at the moment, I do have a master limiter kind of controlling everything. However, that's a lot of gain reduction to let our master limiter do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all these layers. I'm going to call this clap group. Now, I'm going to use the classic, I think I got it installed. I don't actually. I'm going to use G-Clip. I literally just installed K-Clip on this computer, which actually is, in my opinion, a slightly better free plugin. K-Clip 0, that is. But we'll just use G-Clip for now, and maybe I'll use K-Clip later in the project once I do another take and do another little section in this build. Okay, so we're gonna just clip these all a little bit, just so we don't hear any distortion. I'm gonna solo this and just clip it just before it's a bit too much. The aim here is to take out a little bit of the transient. Now, I'm also going to bring up my mastering limiter here so I see that it's not working too hard as I do this. And because everything in rhythm is about gain staging, right, I'm just going to clip it right up to the point where I can see it below the 0 line, right? And I'm going to bring in the kick now. Right. Now, what I am going to do is maybe give the kick on this 2 and 4 like 3 dB less. It could be good. Maybe I'll leave it as it was. You know what? I'm actually going to leave it as it is. Normally, I would bring it down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go down 1.5. Just to make it a little more headroom, give it a little more headroom for the claps. Yeah, that's perfect. It's a very subtle detail, but it makes a big difference in your mix because otherwise that kick and clap together maybe get a little too clipped when we do some further processing. All right, that's sounding really good. Now, I am going to leave the pattern pretty simple, and this is the power of rhythm, is simple rhythms in the drums allow for more, variation and stuff in the basses. So you don't want to do a crazy amount rhythmically. We may come and add a few double kicks, a few extra claps and percussions later. And then what I am going to do is just add in a hat as well on the offbeat predominantly as our final sort of main hit. Now, sometimes you may even pull this out in certain sections, so we might not commit to it the whole time.
That's right, my
Let's see what we've got here in our hat samples. Maybe we'll try this one on the offbeat. Turn it down quite considerably. Let's duplicate this over the whole track. We might layer in some extra hats too. Gonna bring up the clap group 1 dB here. We might layer in some extra hats too. Gonna bring up the clap group 1 dB here. I'm going to layer in a second hat as well. I'm going to call this hat 2 just to give it a little more punch.
Nice.
Yeah, this one will be good. This is from our EDM starter kit as well. Just a simple kind of trappy hat, right? Yeah, without that. I want to mix it so it's just under the punch of the kick and clap, right? That feels really good to me. Now, I may bring in sort of another loop later down the track, but honestly, we're going to leave the clap there for now. What I am going to do is for now, I'm going to chuck on another Pro L2. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep it stock. I'm going to use a limiter. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to use G-clip again. Again, I probably will swap this for K-clip and dial it in more nuance in a second. But this is just going to control any extra clipping that's necessary. Again, a little bit of clipping at each stage in rhythm is going to help you get your loudness by the end of the track to a really solid level. I'm going to probably bring that back down a little bit now on the clap group. In fact, I'm going to bring up the kick by a little bit too, 0.5.
So cool, man.
0.3. Now, I may add some quick reverb on the hats group as well. Let me just send this to my drums verb.
Imagine having to apologize after seeing the anthem. That's crazy. Who gives a fuck, bro? The anthem sucks.
Wondering if I should add my reverb on the clap group on the group level or on the individual level.
Changes are something cool, bro.
Gonna do it on the group level.
I always said our new anthem should be All the Lights, because that'd be fucking sick at the Olympics. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. Fucking can't, bro.
Cool. And then what some people do is they'll put one hat on the kick and snare as well. Yeah, and we're going to do this a little quieter, probably down at 3 dB or 4 dB or 5 dB. Maybe even quieter. We're going to do 9. And we're just going to do it on the second layer here because I don't really need that bigger, chunkier hat to kind of come through, if that makes sense. Yep. All right, now let's listen to that. I'm wondering if this could be even quieter. Yeah, maybe it could be just a little bit. Duplicate that across. We're going down to -11 now. These little mixing nuances do matter at the beginning, by the way, so that's why I'm spending so much time getting this right from the beginning, saving myself less headaches down the production process route, right? Yep. All right, that is sounding honestly really good. Let's leave it at that, and we're going to start dialing in some basses. We're going to get some vibe going with those. Yeah. Find a few presets or sounds I've created, maybe make some from scratch, and go from there. All right, cheeky tea break, and we're going to do some bass work. Now, I'm thinking how I'm going to start this, and there are really a number of ways you can start this. Is with a preset, you can start with a serum patch and make your own sound. You can start with a sample and add some post-processing. There's hundreds of different ways. What I'm going to do in this case is actually start with a sample, and we're going to transform it. So I'm just going to bring in a new one here, call it bass. I like this light green, so I'm going to start there. Let's see what bass sounds I got here already.
Ghost hack.
This one's actually from our EDM starter kit as well. What I may do is just pull in the sample and chop it up just a little bit to get some cool sounds from it. I'm going to start it here. Oh, this is already sounding sick. I'm going to use complex and pitch it down the octave as well. Oh, that's gritty. Maybe I'll use Complex Pro. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe I will also adjust the timing of the sample. And I'm going to duplicate this. And then maybe use the second half of the sample or something like that here. We're going to change the start point.
I'm just gonna let him cook.
Maybe what I'll do as well is I'll chop this one up here, kind of crossfade them and make this one pitched up a semitone.
Now this is how you manipulate a fucking sample, bro.
This one over.
I don't even know what he's doing, bro. I'm just gonna watch.
And then we'll fade that, yeah.
This is crazy. Ready for motherfucking bass cans. They got a Shambhala coming up soon.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm even thinking what I'm going to do here is whatever I end up doing to this sound, I'm just going to have this kind of loop over again. And I'm going to add a bit of fades to it. Yeah, cool. Okay. And I'm going to chop each of these as well like that. So we're going to fade that a bit, fade that a bit. Fade that a bit there, kind of get some nice work on that. Maybe I'll also do the same thing here. Instead of the crossfade, I'm just going to add some fades. And then I'm going to fade this one up. Maybe we'll just remove that for a second. Get this. Yeah, that's cool. Get that there, get that back to its original length. This one can be a little longer, maybe. Nice. Yeah, and then I'm going to copy paste this one over and over and over. bit of a better fade balance there. Over all the way to the beginning of drop 1A. Yeah, I'm already hearing some cool stuff. Okay. That is sounding absolutely epic. I'm going to add some post-processing here, though, because I think we want something a little different than just the sound as it is. So I'm going to add a few things. First thing I'm going to use is the new Raw plugin in Ableton, which I think is going to be really...
Like, that's crazy. What he just did is insane. So let's try to do something similar. Like, this is cool. I would not have thought to do any of this. I would just like... All right, so let's... all right, check it out. It's like I just unlocked something in my brain. All right, but I was gonna pitch this down hella. So what was all the shit he was doing?
Yeah, that's cool.
He's like, let me change the starting point or something.
I've been thinking what I'm going to do here is whatever I end up doing to this sound, I'm just going to have this kind of loop over again.
it.
And I'm going to add a bit of fades to it. Yeah, cool. Okay. And I'm going to chop each of these as well like that. So we're going to fade that a bit, fade that a bit, fade that a bit there, kind of get some nice work on that. Maybe I'll also do the same thing here. Instead of the crossfade, I'm just going to add some fades. And then I'm going to fade this one up.
Get this fucking gnat out of my fucking face, bro. That's tight. What the fuck?
We'll just remove that for a second.
What? Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, what the fuck is that, bro?
That's
hard.
Back to its original length.
Golly.
This one can be a little longer, maybe.
It's like, what if I do this even more? Like, what can we do with this? What is this? All right, but a little bit more variation, nice. I guess. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, and then I'm going to copy paste this one over and over and over. Bit of a better fade balance there. Over all the way to the beginning of drop 1A. Yeah, I'm already hearing some cool stuff. Okay. That is sounding absolutely epic. I'm going to add some post-processing here, though, because I think we want something a little different than just the sound as it is. So I'm going to add a few things. First thing I'm going to use is the new Raw plugin in Ableton, which I think is going to be really fun for some cool distortion. Ooh, that's cool. Let's try a few of these other.
So we're going to do that too. Let's go. So we're going to do some audio effects. Like, what is Dirty Mouse? That's crazy. All right, not that. That's cool. Hell no. Drum noise glitchier. Drums crushed. Eastern Brain. Hang up. Major wah. Modulator. This is so cool. What the hell, bruh? Cut-o-matic. Ducker. Feel insane.
random modes. That's sick. Maybe
Makes it a
not.
lot tighter.
Ooh,
It's
that's
a lot
sick.
of work just for that.
Use this feedback mode as well to get that classic rhythmy effect. Random modes. Oof, that's sick.
It's fucking fat, bro.
Maybe not. Ooh, that's sick. Use this feedback mode as well to get that classic rhythmy effect. Going to come across really good. OTT afterwards. This is awesome. I'm already stoked with how this is turning out. I'm gonna keep playing around with the distortion until I just get something tasteful. Oof, that's different. Oh, that noise is cool. Add a auto filter, tack and release on the envelope. Ooh, just to add that like movement with the filter. I think I'm gonna do a low pass. turn down the amount of distortion noise, bring the dry wet back a bit, bring the reso and the envelope up.
That's fucking cool. Maybe this is like too different. Maybe. I definitely learned something, but let's just keep digging for something more similar to that. I'm just gonna say what I got.
Nice. This is already sounding sick. We are going to loop this up just for the 4 bars for now. Maybe make a few changes. I'm bringing the width down on the sound because the auto filter seems to be sort of...
You can throw Vital over the top of this? Really? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Chain a bit. I'm actually going to load that in a more controlled way here. Cool. And just to make this a little more different, what I'm going to do is actually from my plugins, I'm going to bring in Serum Effects onto just before, maybe before the filter potentially. We may play around with the signal chain a bit. I'm actually going to load up a rhythm preset here just to see if the effects chain from one of these rhythm presets actually makes this sound cool. So let's try. Now I am going to try turning on Note Latch to add the movement. Okay, I'm going to actually put it on. after the distortion. From Serum. Let's load up a preset here. Let's bring that in there. Yeah, that's cool. And we may use a different sound here just for something a little more interesting. We just want to see what we come up with. Let's start from a preset again here, just for the sake of time. Let's try something else.
Golly, my brain hurts. Might be done for today, man. This hoits the brain. Can only do this shit for so long. I don't think anybody watched. That's fine. That's not even the point. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna take a break, get something to eat, and just call it a day. Well, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Hope you had a good time. Hope you learned something. We'll probably be back